Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we're going to talk about our team changes, all the ins and outs. We had plans. We were going to bring in Humpty Dumpty. We haven't talked about it in our last episode. We were excited to bring in Humpty. He's not coming now, just coming down. Well, he still might come, but the chances have dropped big time because now Josh Kelly is out. And he may have ruined all our plans. But sometimes things happen for a reason. It might be a good thing for us that Josh Kelly's out because I was going to trade him out in round 15 anyway. I didn't like him anymore, just coming down. So let's continue. We now go to our team score. It says 24-69. That's what we scored this week. Now, I was so upset with this score. I actually couldn't sleep. It was driving me nuts. My heart was aching. I'm dead sad. It was painful. I'm actually so embarrassed. I'm supposed to be a content creator. I can't pick captains. I can't pick a captain. Whenever I trade in, it turns into a spud. My team is full of spuds. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, we had a top 11% score. So I mean, looking at the top 11, I thought maybe we'll go up in rankings. Top 11%. Usually you go up. Nah, we went down 540 spots, top 11%. We lost 540 spots. How does that even happen? It only happens at Abs Magic, just coming down. Anyway, we have a new strategy this week, okay? Looks like we're going to have to bring in a new recruit, the Professor. He's going to come in this week. Now, who is the Professor, you may be asking? Well, the Professor is the... If you watch Netflix, okay, and there used to be a series called The Heist. I don't know if it's on anymore, but if it is, there was a professor in The Heist. We've brought him onto the show. We brought him onto our show now. We've spent the big bucks on the professor. He's coming on now, just coming down. He's going to make the last trade, the one that's going to count, because whatever trades I make, I turn those plays into spuds. Maybe the professor can turn them into studs. Okay, just coming down. Let's continue. Now, actually, looking at my team, we have Drury now injured. When did this happen? When did Drury get injured? Now we've got another injury. I can't believe this. The rookies are just dead. We have all the spuds. That's why the professor's coming in this week. He's going to help us out. Now, Kelly's gone. Okay, Kelly, we have to get rid of him. Okay, we're going to turn Kelly... Where is it? Kelly into lead. Okay, so that's one trade done. Now, what I would have... I mean, Kelly was going to stay in our team and Anderson was going to become lead. But now, that has changed, okay? Now, the next thing that I would love to have done was get rid of Cowan. Alright? And brought in Humpty. Okay, where's Humpty? Gold Coast. And Humpty comes in. Now, if Humpty comes in... It fixes up. It creates a problem for us, but it also helps solve a different problem. So it's sort of got its ups and downs. Now with Humpty coming in, round 12 bye looks really solid. Okay, round 12 bye, it looks good. Round 14 bye, looking much better. Okay, with Humpty in the team, especially for Anderson in the team as well. Now. We're not going to do that, okay? Because what happens is we have 44k left in the kitty, okay? Now 44k, if let's say in round 12, which is next week, we want to because Ashcroft, all right, is about to bottom out. Next week is his last one, okay? Now next week, if he scores, let's say an 87, he makes 35k. Then 87 is his That's his max. He's max at 87, all right? So I'm happy to take whatever he makes this week and then trade him out. It's virtually his max, and he's not going to be a keeper. We're not going to win Supercoach with Ashcroft at M8. Put it that way, okay? Also not going to win Supercoach with Anderson at M2, okay? Now, so Ashcroft will go out next week, so we need to upgrade him. So to upgrade him, what are we going to do next week? Well, we have 44k plus 400k. We have to bring in Wardlow, who's going to cost 200k. So let's say Chinkota is Wardlow, all right? you get another 20k there. So that's 64k we have spare. That's still not enough. And then maybe Semaniti can become Ford. Okay, so that gives you another 140k. With 140k plus 60k, that's 200k. Well, that would work for us. We can use that cash now from Semaniti, all right? And who are we going to bring in next week? Well, I just told you, Wardlow and Ford are two, and then we have one more. Let me show you. We go to the rucks, okay? Now, Tim English is 610k. He's averaging 124 at 610k. Rowan Marshall is more expensive than English, and he's only averaging 111. That's an average of 13 less, okay? And even Jared Witts is averaging, where's his average? 114. He's at 587. That's a good price too, but English is even cheaper. And considering English has a break even of 144, and he's playing against Witts, so it's English versus Witts this week. It's going to be very interesting. We're probably going to bring in one of the two, English or Witts, next week. Now, Witts' break even is 95, so Witts will get his break even easily, should, all right? But English may not, okay? So, because English ain't going to win a hit out, he's just going to get his points from his around the ground work. So this will be interesting to watch. Now, if English doesn't get his break even and gets and becomes, let's say, 600k, how do we get him in? Well, let's go back to our team. We need Gawn to get his DPP. Then we move Gawn forward, move Cogs where Ashcroft is, and get English here. That's next week. That's the plan, okay? Just come down. But it can be done with this trade, all right, with these trades, if we keep Anderson. However, as I explained in yesterday's video, Anderson's break-even is 200. Now, would I pay 632k for Anderson, or would I want to free up this spot for a player like Steele, who's 530k? I'd probably be better off freeing up this spot for a cheaper player than having a 630k Anderson in this spot, who is a pod, who's in 10% of teams. But I'd rather have a better pod. I mean, his scores, I got sucked in, okay? He conned me. He's a con artist, okay? His scores were okay. It was 134, 109, 89, 140. I mean, then I look at it, that's pretty much his scoring. He only had 2 big games, really, or 3 big games out of 10. I got conned in, okay? I got conned in here. It looked good, but then there's 2 more games here, just ruined it. It's time for Anderson to go. He's going to drop in cash so much. I don't want him, okay? I'm not going to win Supercoach with Anderson in the team, put it that way. He's not going to win me, unless he scores 180s every week. He's not going to do that. All right, let's continue. Now, what we need to also look at is our upgrades, okay? How many upgrades do we need? Well, for starters, let's get Kelly out of here. Okay, Kelly's gone. Let's bring Laird in there again. Okay, so that's done. Let's get that out the way. Now, what upgrades do we need? All right, how do we get these rookies off the bench? Well, yeah. How do we get them off? How do we get this? How do we cash out right here? Okay, we have cash to make. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 players that need to be cashed out. Now, how do we collect this cash? Well, the only way you can do it, if I turn, one of them is going to become Wardlaw. Okay, one's going to become Ford. All right, so that's 2 gone. One's going to become Fife, because I want to have a 23rd player, and one of them is going to become what's his name, McAndrew. All right, so that's 4. That's my, because Drew's now injured, so he's just cost me as well. So if I've got 4 spots here from cash to collect, then if I kill one of these and bring in a 280k player in Humpty, I'm going backwards, so it's not going to work for me. So Humpty can't come in. Now, Anderson out. Okay. Now, 632k player, and we bring in a 532k player in Steele. That gives us 100k. Okay, where's St Kilda? Steele. Okay, and complete. So now, we've made it 100k on this deal. Alright, so now we've got 225k in the bank. We still have the 4 players that we're going to trade out 2 of them will be next week. So that means we've only got 2 left after that. And we have Ashcroft, who's going to go out next week as well. So what happens now? This is the professor. Just to calm her down. Okay, just calm her down. Now, what happens next? The Scodfather asks, what happens next? Okay, let's go through it now. Now, Kelly out. Okay, we already discussed this, and Anderson, both of them gone. How do we win Supercoach from here? It needs a professor to work it out. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're going back to lead. Okay, we need to bring in a pod. All right, we need someone that can go nuts. Sorong is the man. Now, Sorong, in 12% of teams, not many people own him. Okay, his scoring is phenomenal. Okay, he has a tap ruckman that hits him the ball every time. Every time he gets a receive from the ruckman, he earns points for it. Okay, so not only does the big fat donkey earn the points, but Sorong owns them as well. Every time he just receives the ball, he gets points. Now, Sorong's next matchups, they're against Melbourne, Richmond, GWS, Essendon. Well, this will be a tough game, the Dogs. The rest are all easy, okay? Probably the only tough one is West Coast, believe it or not. West Coast is probably the toughest game he's got. Might get a tag. So, now against Melbourne, in the last 2 games, Anderson scored a 180. We saw last week, Butters score 180. So against Melbourne, teams are now scoring 180, and they don't have Oliver, okay? So I'm going to back in this week to bring in Sorong. Now, this may sound like a silly trade, okay? Let me show you why it's a silly trade. Now, the round 12 bye, Sorong is missing. So we're only really bringing Sorong in for 1 week. But we're not doing that. We're bringing Sorong in to cover the tougher rounds, the round 14 and the round 15 bye. He's going to cover those 2. He's doing an equivalent job to what a Anderson or a Stewart would do, which is cover those 2 tough bye rounds. Now, in round 12, he is missing. That's correct. Okay, good mathematics. Now, how many are missing in round 12? Let's count them. 1. Well, how many do we have, I should say? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We only have 15 players playing in round 12. Just calm it down. Okay, just calm it down. Now, we have a plan. Okay. Ashcroft is going to become English or Wits. Okay, next week. That's if Gorn gets DPP. That's one plan. All right. We're also going to bring in Wardlaw and Ford. Okay. So that's now Wardlaw is going to be a high-scoring player. Ford should be a high-scoring player, but maybe not. So Ford is our only weak link, and Ford's going to be also playing sharing with Davies. So we'll actually have 19 players available next week. Okay, just coming down. So with 145k in the bank, we should be able to upgrade Ashcroft easily. All right, and Ashcroft should make 50k more, or 30 or 40k. So he'll become English. Okay, and the plan looks good. Now, what does that leave us with? All right, what do we need after that? Well, we only need to upgrade then. Well, it's going to be Sharp or Wardlaw and Mitchell. Now, Mitchell, we're sort of running out of cash, okay? I do realise we have a cash problem, but it's not that serious, okay? We're almost there. Only 2 players left. Now, Mitchell, how much is he going to make? Probably another 50, 60k. We're going to hold him for as long as possible. Okay, that's the plan. Mitchell, and we're going to trade out Mitchell most likely to a fallen primo. It might even be Cripps, okay, in round 16. We're not sure yet. It might even be a 400k-ish type of player from the Sydney Swans in Mills, all right? So we don't know, because we still got Dawson, which we're going to switch there. So we'll find that out soon. We'll work it out. just to come down. Actually, I might even get Sard or the Doc. I don't know who I want to get there yet. I haven't worked it out because it's going to be a budget player. Because here, we need to bring in Oliver. And to find cash for Oliver, it's going to be a little bit tricky now. We'll work it out. So it's going to be virtually, if we can bring in Oliver, we're going to be laughing, okay? How we're going to do it, we're going to hope that Ford can really make some cash, okay, and move along. Ford is our key to Oliver. And McAndrew as well, who we're going to bring in the following week. So McAndrew and Ford are the two keys to Oliver. All right, let's see how they go. Back over to the Scodfather. Well, you've just seen the Professor in action. It's his first appearance. If it works out for us, and Led and Sorong are studs, we'll keep him on. Just coming down, we'll hire him. Because the players that I pick every week, they turn to spuds. Whoever I brought in, Anderson, Stewart, LDU. Who else did I bring in that became a spud? Coniglios. Gorn. Is there anyone else that I brought in? Merritt even became a spud at once. So look at this. Merritt. Once I brought him in, this is what he scored for me. 91, 106, 95. Okay, it takes them 3 weeks to work out how to play football. Then he finally worked it out for 162. I can't wait 3 weeks for him to become stars again. Look, another player brought in, Day. He hasn't even become a star yet. Look what he's done. I brought him in. He scores me a 97. He's going backwards. 97, 84, 88, now 74, but he got tagged, okay. But another player I brought in, Sinclair. What did he do since I brought him in? Let's have a look. He scored me a 109, 99, 65. Another player that took 3 weeks. On the 4th week, he decided to become good. All of them take 3 weeks, except for Day. He's taking longer, just coming down. Now, I'm scared of Stewart. He might take another 2 more weeks. We might have 2 more poor games coming out of the Dogs and GWS before he comes good. Anyway, so I brought in the Professor. Hopefully he can make these players come good straight away. Something wrong with the way I pick my players. I don't know what happens. They just become spuds. Anyway, now, this week, we may have a problem as well with this team. Okay, because our weak link, now we got 2 rookies plus Ashcroft on field. Now, I'm not worried about Mitchell. I'm worried about Sharp, okay? So what we're going to do this week, we don't even know if Sharp's going to play. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the emergency on Semeniti, okay? Now, if Semeniti is the emergency, how do we bring in... Well, because Drury looks like he's injured, okay? So what we are going to do is we will swap over a Taranto, or who's not playing, a Taranto with Drury, if Drury's not playing, and then we'll get Semeniti's score. However, if Sharp isn't playing, okay, it only means we've got Semeniti and Davey as our 2 playing rookies, so we're going to have a huge problem. Now, who's Davey playing? Well, the good news is he's playing West Coast, so we might get away with it, okay? So what we can do, if Semeniti doesn't score... let's say 50 plus. I'm taking 50 plus this week. Can you believe it? As if Sharp's not playing. If Sammy scores 50 plus, all right, I'm taking his score. If he doesn't, Davey comes on field. Now, when was the last time Davey scored a 50? Let's have a look. I'm going to actually take 40 plus. Okay, Davey, last time he scored a 50. When was it? In round 1 and round 3. That was it. Twice he's only scored above 50. It's a problem. Now, how do we... I can't believe I'm relying on Davey. I mean, round 11, I'm still got Davey on field. Can you work that out? Okay, but I had to do it because I brought in all the expensive players. Now, I've pretty much... My midfield is like... we're talking... If we're going to bring in Oliver here, okay, and we're going to have to move up Taranto there and bring in English, our team is like... We're getting the best of the best, okay? So to do this, you have to take out... We haven't got the best of the best in defence, but we've got it in the midfield nearly. Okay, so and to do this, the only way you can do it is via having one poor primo here. I wish I did have a player like Humpty Dumpty here that can cover, or even Wardlaw I would have brought in, but we're just going to cop it this week. One poor week, one poor score from our M8, and that's just going to be the last time we have a poor score for an M8, hopefully, barring injuries later on in the year when we have no trades left. So that's it for our plans this week. Hopefully your plans are going well. I'll put up a video. Let me show you. There was a video up here explaining about Oliver in detail, what I would do if I had Oliver. Detailed explanation about Anderson, Humpty, as a few others. There's also, who else was there? I talked about some other players. Dale was another player we talked about. We also talked about Weedle in here. So if you haven't watched it, you can watch this video. It's not bad. Okay, just come down. But otherwise, that's all our trades this week. There'll be no more. Hopefully there'll be no updates because I'm happy with it. I'm happy to stick with this plan. But we'll wait for tomorrow to see what the selections are. They might say the Bont's out. Then we got a problem. Then we have to keep Anderson. Actually, no, we don't. We're still going to get rid of Anderson. Even if the Bont's out, we're still going to get rid of Anderson. But Bont's going to play, so it shouldn't be a problem. And now, captain and vice-captain this week. What are our plans? Okay, I'm going to put you back to the professor because I can't pick them. I'm hopeless. Actually, forget about the professor. We're going to find someone else. We're going to find you a captain or vice-captain. Let's see who we can find. Just come down. This is the alien from Mars. Okay, we have satellites up at Mars. Just come down. I've watched all these games. We can project the future because we've seen these games. We've watched the whole year. We watched all of next year's games as well. I can't believe the Scodfather never called me up until now. Anyway, I'm here. Now, we saw the professor. He brought in Sorong and Laird. Now, I can tell you right now that Sorong versus Melbourne, he's going at 145 minimum from memory from what I saw. Actually, I recall this game. He went at 145. Or was it 170? I can't remember. But it was something like that. I'm going Sorong as a vice-captain. It's in the bag. So Sorong is the vice-captain this week. You find that Melbourne concede a lot of points to players that are inside mids, that are contested players, like Taranto. He scored a 144 against Melbourne. Anderson on the inside and outside scored a 180. We saw Butters go nuts on both inside and outside. Scored nearly 190. Sorong will go the same, and they don't have Oliver. Okay, Sorong's going to go nuts. Now, that's the vice-captain. Now, if you're looking for a captain option, okay, go no further than Laird. Okay, Laird at Adelaide Oval, he's back in form. Okay, it's the old Laird. He's back. Okay, and last year, if you can recall, I captain Laird every single week after the bye rounds. Well, history's going to repeat itself. I'm doing the same again. Laird's back. It's a guaranteed 145 against every team we play against now. I could almost back him for 200 this week. Just coming down. But we'll just go 145. Okay. Laird's the captain. Sorong is the vice captain. That's who I pick. I've seen these games. That's what they scored. Okay. Back to the Scodfather. Well, we've heard from the alien from Mars. We've heard from the professor, from the heist. And you've heard from me as well. No more spuds in our team now. The professor is here from now on. And no more bad captains. We have the alien from Mars. We can't go wrong now. Just coming down. We're going to win it this year. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try. We're going to pretend that we're going to win it. Just coming down. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.